and welcome to another edition of CPS Office Hours. Today is different. Previous videos focused on how CPS thinks, how decisions form, how timing and narrative shape outcomes. Today is about parents. Specifically, it is about how parents unintentionally sabotage cases that were once very winnable. This is not blame, this is correction, and it is information most parents never receive until it is too late. Before we begin, subscribe to this channel. These briefings are sequential. Skipping one creates blind spots that cost families years. Now let's begin. The most dangerous assumption parents carry into CPS cases is this: if I'm doing the right things, the system will recognize it. That assumption feels reasonable, it is also wrong. CPS does not reward effort the way parents expect. It does not interpret behavior emotionally, and it does not correct misunderstandings automatically. Parents who rely on fairness often lose. Many CPS cases do not fail because of abuse. They do not fail because of neglect. They do not fail because parents refuse services. They fail because parents misread expectations, communicate poorly, react emotionally, assume intent matters more than perception. These failures are quiet, they accumulate, and by the time parents realize what happened, the record is already built. Parents often say, "I'm doing everything they asked." That statement sounds strong, but CPS hears something different. CPS hears, "I'm task-focused, not risk-focused." Doing tasks is not the same as reducing perceived risk. A parent can complete every service and still lose a case if CPS believes the underlying concerns remain. This is critical. Compliance is not the goal. Risk reduction is the goal. Compliance is just one possible tool. Parents who treat services as checklists often miss the deeper issue. CPS is evaluating judgment, insight, and predictability, not attendance. Language matters more than parents realize. Parents often sabotage themselves by saying things like, "I didn't mean to. That's not what happened. They misunderstood me. I was just stressed." These statements feel explanatory. CPS hears deflection, even when parents are telling the truth. Defensiveness is one of the fastest ways to lose CPS credibility, not anger, not refusal. Defensiveness. Why? Because defensiveness signals lack of insight, externalization of blame, emotional instability under pressure. Parents who defend instead of acknowledge are seen as risky, even when compliant. Parents often say, "I would never hurt my child. I love my child. That's not who I am." CPS does not evaluate intent. It evaluates likelihood. Love does not equal safety in the system's eyes. Predictability does. Parents are often encouraged to be honest. This advice is dangerous without context. Emotional honesty can strengthen therapy, strengthen personal growth. But in CPS cases, unfiltered emotional honesty can create new concerns, expand narratives, introduce instability into the record. CPS files do not forget emotional moments. Parents vent to caseworkers, therapists, parenting instructors, court-appointed professionals. They assume these spaces are safe. They are not. Anything that suggests resentment, bitterness, overwhelm. Anger at the system can and often will appear in reports. Parents often say they twisted what I said. Sometimes that's true, but more often CPS is documenting impact, not intent. The system does not care how something was meant. It cares how it can be interpreted under risk analysis. That difference destroys cases. Strong emotions feel justified. But CPS reads strong emotion as poor regulation, unpredictability, stress, vulnerability, even grief, even fear, even frustration. Parents who appear emotionally contained outperform parents who appear emotionally raw, even when the raw parents are more loving. Many parents believe cooperation means agreeing verbally, showing up, being polite. CPS defines cooperation differently. To CPS, cooperation means accepting the narrative framework, aligning with concerns, not challenging the premise of intervention. Parents who comply but challenge the premise are often labeled resistant. Let's pause. If this feels unfair, that reaction makes sense. But understanding unfair systems is how people survive them. Denial of reality does not protect families. Next, we're going to cover the single most damaging mindset parents carry, why standing up for yourself often backfires, how parents unintentionally create long-term records that follow them for years. This is where most damage actually happens. Stay with me. Let's continue. We talked about how strong cases collapse quietly, not because parents refuse to comply, but because they misunderstand how the system interprets behavior. Now, we're going to talk about the single most damaging mindset parents bring into CPS cases. This mindset feels empowering, it feels justified, and it destroys more cases than almost anything else. Parents often believe, if I don't defend myself, they'll think the allegations are true. So parents explain, correct, clarify, push back, argue context. They believe silence equals guilt. In CPS cases, that belief is backwards. When parents defend themselves, CPS does not hear, this parent is innocent. CPS hears, this parent is emotionally reactive. This parent is focused on being right. This parent is struggling with insight. Defense is interpreted as resistance, even when facts support the parent. This is hard to accept. CPS cases are not debates. They are not trials of truth. They are not fairness evaluations. They are risk assessments. Risk systems do not reward argument. They reward predictability and alignment. Parents who argue facts often increase perceived risk. Parents are often told that you need to stand up for yourself. Don't let them walk all over you. You have rights. All true, in theory. But CPS operates in practice, not theory. When parents stand up emotionally, CPS often documents parent was argumentative, parent was resistant, parent minimized concerns, even when parents are correct. CPS does not prioritize accuracy the way parents expect. It prioritizes insight. A parent can be factually right and still lose if CPS believes they lack insight. A parent can accept a flawed narrative and still reunify if CPS believes they understand the concern. This feels unjust. It is also how the system works. Records are not poisoned by big moments. They are poisoned by repeated defensiveness, emotional emails, lengthy explanations, attempts to correct every detail, frustrated tone. Over time, the file begins to show a pattern. Parent struggles to accept responsibility, even if responsibility is shared or unclear. Emails are one of the most dangerous tools parents use. Parents write emails to clarify, correct, defend, document. But emails live forever, and tone does not translate well. A calm explanation can be read as argumentative. A clarification can be read as deflection. A correction can be read as resistance. Many cases are damaged by emails alone. Parents believe more communication equals cooperation. Often the opposite is true. Controlled, minimal professional communication reduces misinterpretation, limits emotional leakage, preserves neutrality, protects the record. Silence, when strategic, is safer than explanation. Parents often say, I just want them to understand me. CPS is not trying to understand parents emotionally. It is trying to assess risk, stability, predictability, compliance with structure. Wanting emotional understanding leads parents to overshare. Oversharing creates risk. Therapy helps people heal, but therapy language can damage CPS cases when repeated verbatim. Statements like, I was triggered, I dissociated, I'm processing trauma, I felt overwhelmed, may be healthy in treatment. In CPS records, they can sound alarming. Parents unintentionally create evidence of instability. Parents are told, be self-aware, own your issues, show growth. But CPS does not always distinguish growth from risk. Self-disclosure can expand concerns. What feels like accountability to a parent can feel like confirmation to CPS. Parents often think, This is just about this case. It isn't. CPS records persist. They follow families. They resurface in future reports. Statements made under stress today can shape narratives years later. This is why restraint matters. Parents often say, no matter what I do, it's wrong. That feeling comes from a mismatch. Parents are operating emotionally. The system is operating procedurally. Once parents understand that difference, the confusion lessens, even if the outcome is still painful. Let me pause here. Nothing in this section is telling parents to lie. Nothing is telling parents to be dishonest. This is about strategic containment. You can be honest without being expansive. You can be cooperative without being expressive. You can protect yourself without fighting. In the final section, I'm going to give you the corrective mindset that protects cases, how to behave in a way CPS reads as safe, what calm strength actually looks like in this system, and I'll close today's topic properly and set up what comes next. Let's finish. So far, we've covered how parents unknowingly sabotage strong cases, why defensiveness is more damaging than refusal, how records are quietly poisoned by tone, language, and mindset. Now we're going to talk about what actually protects parents in CPS cases, not emotionally, not morally, systemically. Here is the mindset that protects parents more than any other. My job is not to convince CPS I'm right. My job is to consistently appear safe, predictable, and regulated. This mindset changes everything. It shifts parents from reaction to positioning. Safe does not mean loving, passionate, emotional, protective. CPS defines safe as predictable, regulated, compliant with structure, aligned with concerns, low drama, low reactivity. Parents who understand this outperform parents who argue truth. Emotional containment is one of the strongest signals of safety. Containment means you feel emotions, but don't display them impulsively. You respond, not react. You pause before speaking. You keep communication short and neutral. Containment tells CPS, this parent can handle stress without destabilizing. That matters more than explanation. Calm strength looks like short answers, neutral tone, acceptance without collapse, cooperation without oversharing, boundaries without confrontation. Calm strength is not submission, it is strategic restraint. In CPS cases, fewer words create fewer problems. Fewer explanations reduce misinterpretation. Fewer emotional displays reduce risk narratives. Parents who talk less are often seen as more stable. Silence, when respectful, is powerful. One of the safest phrases a parent can use is, yes, I understand the concern, not I agree, not you're right, just I understand the concern. Understanding does not equal admission, but CPS reads it as insight. This is critical. Parents ask, what if the allegation isn't true? Here is the system-safe approach. Do not argue emotionally. Do not relitigate constantly. Do not try to convince through intensity. Instead, maintain consistent safe behavior. Allow your attorney to contest facts. Focus on present stability. Behavior over time is more persuasive than argument. Your attorney is the appropriate channel for challenging allegations, correcting records, making legal arguments. When parents personally fight the narrative, CPS documents resistance. When attorneys do it professionally, it's expected. Stay in your lane. Safe communication looks like brief, polite, non-emotional, non-defensive, non-explanatory. Examples: thank you for letting me know. I understand. I will follow through. Please advise if anything further is needed. These phrases protect the record. Confidence can look like arrogance under stress. Humility looks like safety. Humility sounds like, I'm open to learning. I want to do better. I'm taking this seriously. Even when parents are competent, humility lowers perceived risk. CPS is not just evaluating today. It is asking, how will this parent respond under future stress? Will they escalate or regulate? Will they blame or adapt? Every interaction answers that question. Parents control far less than they think, but they do control tone, reaction, consistency, regulation, professionalism. Those things shape outcomes more than arguments ever will. Winning does not always mean immediate reunification, full vindication, being proven right. Sometimes winning means avoiding termination, preserving credibility, keeping future options open, preventing narrative collapse. Real wins are often quiet. If you remember nothing else from today's topic, remember this. CPS does not reward emotion. It rewards regulation. CPS does not reward explanation. It rewards predictability. CPS does not reward righteousness. It rewards perceived safety. Once you understand that, you stop fighting the wrong battle. You now understand how parents accidentally destroy strong cases, why defensiveness backfires, how to behave in ways the system reads as safe. In Day 6, we will cover how CPS builds long-term narratives across cases, what happens when families are flagged, how to protect yourself from future system involvement. Day 6 is about long-term survival and prevention. If this briefing helped you see the system more clearly, subscribe to this channel. These are not motivational talks. They are system literacy. I'll see you on the next video.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith in this. We are the last ones left to save the kids.